It had been months. Not a word, not a glance, not a single attempt to reach out. I had walked away from everything. I didn't say goodbye, didn't leave a note, didn't even turn around to look at her. The woman I loved, the woman I married, had broken me in a way I couldn't even begin to understand. The affair wasn't some dramatic Hollywood moment. It wasn't one of those explosive confrontations where you walk in and catch them red-handed. No, it was the small things. The little shifts, the things I had brushed off for too long. The coldness in her touch, the late nights at the office, the phone always face down or silent. I had noticed, but I chose to ignore them. Until that one night, I had just come back from a long, exhausting day, my mind scattered with thoughts of work, bills, everything that felt too much. But then when I picked up my phone, it hit me. It wasn't an angry confrontation, no screams, no accusations. It was just a message, and the words felt like a punch to my gut. They sank deep into my chest, choking the air from my lungs. I didn't even need to read it again to understand what had happened. Everything I thought I knew about us shattered in that moment. I didn't scream, didn't cry. I just walked out. There was no point in staying anymore. When someone betrays you like that, it's not about understanding their reasons. It's about accepting that they've chosen something or someone else. And I couldn't stay. The days after were a blur. I didn't want to deal with anyone. I wanted to forget, to shut the world out. Friends reached out. Family urged me to get out, to take a breath, but I couldn't. I felt hollow. The betrayal gnawed at me, and I didn't want to admit it, but it was there, always in the background, eating at me. I moved into a small apartment far from the life I once knew. I tried to rebuild, to find a sense of peace in the chaos, but it was difficult. The nights were the hardest. The silence was deafening. Every empty space in my apartment seemed like a reflection of the void she had left behind. I kept telling myself she made her choice, that she had crossed a line and there was no going back. But there were moments when I missed her, moments when I wondered if she was feeling the same pain I was. But I quickly reminded myself, she had made her choice. She had left me behind. Then, 6 months later, the message came. Her name flashed across my phone. My heart stopped. I froze, unable to move, unable to breathe. I felt a rush of conflicting emotions. Anger, confusion, disbelief. What could she possibly want now, after everything? I debated whether to ignore it, to block her out of my life once and for all. But a part of me, the part I hated to admit, wanted to know. I needed to know what she had to say. I told her to meet me at the cafe, the same cafe we used to go to all those years ago. It was one of the few places I knew where I wouldn't be overwhelmed by the weight of memories. I arrived early, sitting at a table in the back corner. My hands were trembling, but I forced myself to stay calm. My mind was racing. When she walked in, my heart skipped a beat. She looked the same, but not quite. Her hair was shorter, and there were subtle signs of exhaustion under her eyes. It was as if she had aged 5 years in the months we'd been apart. When she saw me, her eyes welled up. She stood there for a moment, unsure whether to come closer, but finally she sat down. Her voice was barely a whisper. "Thank you for meeting me." I didn't respond immediately. I just sat there, staring at her. I had imagined this moment so many times, but now that it was real, I couldn't find the words. The hurt was still there, raw and fresh. She spoke again, her voice trembling. "I've missed you. I know what I did was wrong, and I regret everything." I wanted to believe her. I wanted to believe that this was the same woman I once loved. But as she sat there, vulnerable, broken, something inside me told me she wasn't the same. And she never would be again. "I never meant for it to happen," she said, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I thought I could handle it. I thought I could keep both of you in my life. But when I lost you, I realized how much you meant to me." The words hit me, but not in the way I expected. My heart pounded in my chest and I realized the truth. This wasn't the apology I had imagined. It wasn't enough. Words couldn't fix what she had broken. I swallowed hard, my voice steady but cold. "What is this? Is this about you wanting me back, or is this about realizing you lost your safety net?" Her face fell, and for the first time, I saw the truth in her eyes. She didn't miss me. She missed the way I made her feel. She missed the comfort, the security I had provided. The life she thought she had with me. She didn't come back because she couldn't live without me. She came back because her backup plan had failed her. Her new life hadn't turned out the way she had hoped, and now she wanted to make sure I was still an option. I stood up, feeling the weight of the realization settle over me. The clarity was overwhelming. "I think you should go," I said, my voice firm. She didn't argue, didn't try to convince me otherwise. She just nodded, her face a mask of disappointment and regret. And then, she left. I stayed behind, watching her walk away. The weight of the moment was heavier than anything I had felt in months, but as I walked away from the cafe, a strange sense of peace washed over me. I had done the right thing. But here's the twist, the part I didn't expect. As I walked back to my car, I glanced at my phone. There was another message. It was from her, but this time it wasn't the usual "I miss you" message number. It was a message of truth. "I didn't just want you back because I made a mistake. I wanted you back because I realized something about myself. I've been using people, making them feel needed to fill the emptiness inside me. But what I had with you was real. I finally understand that now. And I'm sorry, more than you'll ever know." I stared at the words. They weren't an apology for what she had done to me. They weren't an attempt to fix anything. This was her realizing that she had been broken too, that her regret came from losing the only thing that ever made her feel whole. And in that moment, I understood. Sometimes, the hardest thing is accepting that someone has to go through their own pain to finally realize the value of what they had. But it was too late. For both of us. I deleted the message, not because I didn't care, but because I had finally learned something about myself too. The past was behind me. Her regret didn't change anything. I wasn't going to wait around for someone who only understood my worth after they lost me. I had walked away from everything once, and now I was walking away from her again. This time, for good. If you're waiting for someone to realize what they've lost, stop. If they ever come back, remember this. They don't miss you. They miss the way you made them feel. And that, my friend, isn't love. It's regret.